Hello everyone, welcome back to Easy to Go Notes, and today I'm here with the part 2 of the chapter Nutrition in Animals. If you haven't seen the part 1 of this chapter, please go to the description below, the link is there. Watch that video so that you don't have any confusion while watching this video. Alright, let's continue. In the previous video, we had seen that nutrition is the process of taking of food and its utilization by the body. We had also seen that ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion are the processes involved in nutrition. And we had discussed about the process of ingestion in detail, which basically means the taking of food. So, after we take in the food and swallow it, the food passes into the esophagus, which is also known as the food pipe. It runs along the neck and the chest, and the food is pushed down by the movement of the food pipe. This movement is known as peristalsis. In fact, this movement occurs throughout the alimentary canal. And also note down that digestion of food does not occur in the food pipe. It only gets transported from the buccal cavity to the stomach. So let's see what happens in the stomach. First of all, digestion is the change of complex food into simple form. The stomach is a thick walled bag and its shape is like a flattened J. It is the widest part of the alimentary canal. The digestion of proteins starts in the stomach. Recall, in the previous video we had learned that the digestion of carbohydrates had begun in the mouth, and the digestion of proteins starts in the stomach due to the presence of digestive juices. The inner lining of the stomach secretes mucus, hydrochloric acid, and digestive juices. Let us look into the functionalities of each of these substances in detail. The hydrochloric acid kills many bacteria that enter along the food. So, number one is that it kills bacteria along the food, and the second is that it changes the medium in the stomach to acidic. Now, why do we consider this as a function? Because the digestive juices which are present in the stomach are not able to digest if the medium in the stomach is not acidic. So that is really important role played by the hydrochloric acid. Also, the mucus protects the lining of the stomach. Now, why is this mucus required? Because the digestive juices and the hydrochloric acid present in the stomach will digest the stomach itself if it does not secrete mucus. The digestive juices break down the proteins into simpler substances. So, this was about the functionalities of all these. Now, let us talk about the discovery of the working of stomach. Now, how was this working of the stomach discovered? Actually, what happened was that in 1822, a man named Alex St. Martin was badly hit by a shotgun. The bullet had damaged the chest wall of the patient seriously and made a hole in his stomach. So he was brought to an American army doctor named William Beaumont. The doctor saved the patient, but he could not close the hole properly and he just left it bandaged. But Mr. Beaumont took it as a great opportunity to see inside the stomach through the hole and he made some wonderful observations. Now, what did he observe? Dr. Beaumont found that the stomach was churning the food. Its wall secreted a fluid which could digest the food, and he also observed that the end of the stomach opened into the intestine only after the digestion of food inside the stomach was completed. So, this was a piece of information about how the working of the stomach was discovered. Alright, the received food from the food pipe opens into the small intestine from the stomach. So, we have to investigate what happens in the small intestine next. The small intestine is about 7.5 meters long and it receives secretions from the liver and pancreas. But its wall also secretes intestinal juices. The digestion of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats ends in the small intestine. So it is about 7.5 meters in length. Wow, that's such a huge height. And also, it is highly coiled, which fits it into a small area inside our body. Alright, after the digestion happens in the small intestine, the partly digested food then reaches the lower part of the small intestine where the intestinal juice completes the digestion of all components of food. So, all the components of food digestion is finished in the small intestine. Alright, coming back to the liver. The liver secretes bile, which is stored in the gallbladder, and it emulsifies fats. The bile breaks down fats. The liver is a reddish brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side of our body. It is the largest gland in the body. The bile secreted by the liver and which is stored in the gallbladder, it plays an important role in the digestion of fats. Meanwhile, the pancreas is a large cream colored gland which is just located below the stomach. It secretes pancreatic juice which acts on carbohydrates, fats, and the proteins. Alright, by now the carbohydrates are broken into sugars like glucose, the fats are broken down to fatty acids and glycerol, and the proteins into amino acids. So these are the end products after the digestion is completed. Now this chart over here is a summarized chart of digestion. Please go through it, really helpful for summarized studying. But since we have already discussed all of this in detail, I'm not going to be discussing about it. Alright, coming back to the next process, which is absorption. The digested food can now pass into the blood vessels in the wall of the small intestine. So the passing of simple soluble nutrient through blood is known as absorption. Now the inner walls of the small intestine have thousands of fingers like outgrowths, and they are known as villi. The plural form is villi and the singular form is villus, so don't get confused if you see any of these terms. Each villus has a network of thin and small blood vessels close to its surface, and the villi increase the surface area for absorption of the digested food, and the surface of the villi absorbs the digested food materials. So this was about absorption. The next stage of the nutrition is known as assimilation. Assimilation is actually nothing but just the utilization of absorbed food for various metabolic processes. So the thing we had learnt in the definition of nutrition, the taking of food and its utilization by the body. So utilization is the word for assimilation. Alright, now the absorbed substances are transported through the blood vessels to the different organs of the body. So from the small intestine, the villus absorb, and the absorbed substances are transported via the blood vessels to different organs of the body, and there they are used to build complex substances such as proteins which are required by the body. In cells, the glucose breaks down with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water, and the energy is released. This is known as respiration. So basically, we can sum up that utilization of absorbed food for various metabolic processes is assimilation. And after this, the undigested and unabsorbed food enters the large intestine for the last process, which is egestion. Egestion means expelling out the undigested food. So first let's come to the large intestine. It is wider and shorter than the small intestine. So the large intestine is wider, but it is also shorter than the small intestine. Its length is about 1.5 meters, and it absorbs water and some salts from the undigested food. So even from the undigested food, the water and the salts are absorbed so that they can be utilized by the body. The large intestine ends at the rectum, and the remaining waste from the large intestine is stored here for some time as semi solid phases. And the function of the anus is that the fecal matter stored in the rectum is excreted out from time to time through the anus. So now the process of nutrition has been completed in human beings. We have learnt everything required for the process of nutrition. Now here, as you can see, we have another fact about diarrhea. Sometimes you may have experienced the need to pass watery stool frequently. This condition is known as diarrhea, and it may be caused as an infection, food poisoning, or indigestion. So it can be caused due to infection, food poisoning, or the indigestion. It is very common in India, particularly among children, and under severe conditions, it can be fatal. This is because of the excessive loss of water and salts from the body. Diarrhea should not be neglected. Even before a doctor is consulted, the patient should be given plenty of boiled and cooled water with a pinch of salt and sugar dissolved in it. This is called oral rehydration solution, also known as ORS these days. Now, a question arises, why do we need salt and sugar with boiled or cooled water to be drunk. But why this is because the function of the large intestine is to absorb salt and water from the digested food, sorry, the undigested food. But now it is not absorbing anything because it knows that infection is there in this food, so its main function is to just excrete it out of the anus. So because of that, we are not able to get enough of salt and water which is required by our body. So that is why we should take ORS solution, which has sugar and salt. That's all for today. If you like this video, hit the like button, share and subscribe to Easy to Go Notes if you want more of such videos. Also, this was the part 2 and the part 3 of this chapter is coming out soon, wherein we'll be discussing about the nutrition in some other animals. So since this video is getting too long, I don't want to put that stuff over here too. So okay, bye. Thank you for watching and have a good day.